Have you ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly captivate women, while most struggle, even when they're handsome, successful, or kind? The truth is brutal. 99% of men are invisible to desire, not because they lack charm, but because they haven't mastered the fundamentals of themselves. They chase attention, explain too much, give too soon, avoid conflict, and make women the center of their lives. And unknowingly, each of these mistakes silently kills attraction. In this video, I will reveal the 5 hidden reasons most men fail at attraction, lessons forged from experience, tested in the harsh reality of love, and grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. By the end, you'll understand why desire disappears, and more importantly, what you must become to make a woman not just notice you, but be drawn to you irresistibly. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where lessons about love will help you better understand this complex emotion. In today's video, we will learn together about 99% of men fail to attract women because they haven't done this. These are things that can change the way you perceive love in life. Be prepared because the secrets and insights you are about to discover may make you look back at yourself and the relationships around you. Before starting, find a quiet space, put on your headphones and relax. Let your mind completely immerse in these shares and enjoy every wonderful moment. Are you ready to discover new things about love? Let's start this journey with us right now. Part 1. He has never built an inner core, so he lives to be chosen. Let me tell you something most men don't want to hear. Women don't lose interest because you're not handsome enough. They don't pull away because you said the wrong thing. They don't disappear because you didn't text back fast enough. They lose interest because they can feel that you have no inner center. And a man without an inner core is never attractive, no matter how polite, successful, or nice he appears. I've lived long enough to see this pattern repeat itself again and again. A man meets a woman. He likes her. Slowly, without realizing it, his world begins to orbit around her reactions. He watches her tone. He studies her replies. He adjusts himself to keep her interested. And in doing so, he unknowingly commits the one mistake that destroys attraction at the root. He hands over his emotional authority. From a Stoic perspective, this is the ultimate weakness. A man who needs approval cannot inspire desire. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Most men are distressed by women, not because of women themselves, but because they estimate female approval as essential to their worth. That estimation leaks through everything they do. It leaks through their posture, their voice, their timing, their eagerness. A woman may not consciously analyze this, but her nervous system reads it instantly. She senses. This man needs validation. This man fears disapproval. This man is not anchored in himself. And the moment she senses that, attraction begins to evaporate. Because desire is not inspired by need. It is inspired by self-contained strength. The inner core, what most men never build. An inner core is not confidence in the superficial sense. It's not bravado. It's not arrogance. It's not pretending you don't care. An inner core is something far quieter, and far rarer. It is the ability to say, internally, "I am whole whether you choose me or not." A man with an inner core enjoys a woman, but does not cling to her. Desires connection, but does not chase it. Is present, but not desperate. He does not negotiate his values for affection. He does not over-explain to be understood. He does not perform to be liked. And paradoxically, this is exactly what makes him magnetic. Why 99% of men never develop this? Because it requires solitude. And most men are terrified of being alone with themselves. Instead of building their inner world, they distract themselves with constant texting, validation loops, attention-seeking behavior. External success pursued purely to impress. But Stoicism teaches something uncomfortable. You cannot control how you are perceived, only who you are. A man who has never sat with his own thoughts, his own fears, his own emptiness, will unconsciously use women to fill that void. And women can feel when they are being used as emotional medication. Nothing kills desire faster than that. Attraction begins when you stop trying to be attractive. Here's a truth that sounds simple but takes years to embody. The moment you stop needing a woman to confirm your value, you become valuable. Not because of strategy. Not because of technique. But because your energy changes. You move slower. You speak less, but with weight. You listen without anxiety. You walk away without resentment. A woman may not know why she feels drawn to you, but she will feel it. Because you are no longer asking, "Do you like me?" You are asking, "Do our lives align?" That shift alone separates the man who is tolerated from the man who is remembered. Stoic love is not cold, it is grounded. Many misunderstand Stoicism in relationships. They think it means emotional distance, indifference, detachment. That's wrong. Stoic love is deep, but unneedy. It is affection without attachment to outcome. Desire without loss of self-respect. Care without self-abandonment. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." A man with an inner core loves this way. He gives freely, but never at the cost of his center. And women feel safe around such men, not bored. Because safety does not come from predictability. It comes from emotional stability. The first discipline you must master. If you want to be attractive in a way that lasts, not just sparks interest but anchors desire, you must master this discipline first. Stop living to be chosen. Choose yourself. Your principles. Your rhythm. Your silence. Your path. Build a life that does not pause waiting for a reply. Because when a woman enters a man's life and sees that he was already standing firmly before she arrived, something ancient awakens inside her. Respect. Curiosity. Desire. And that is where attraction truly begins. Love is not only about happy moments, but also about challenges that help us realize our inner strength. It is through difficulties that we learn patience, tolerance, and how to love without losing ourselves. This is also the reason why I share stories here, so that you can find calmness and wisdom in your journey of love. If you feel these words touch you, please take a second to click like to spread this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe with the notification bell, to always be the first to receive new shares. Don't forget to leave a comment below, share your feelings or a lesson you learned after listening to this story. Each line you share is a way for us to connect and accompany each other. Now, get ready, because the next part will bring you even deeper insights. Part 2, he explains himself too much, and destroys all mystery. There is a silent law in attraction that most men violate without ever realizing it. The more you explain yourself, the less you are respected. This is not cruelty. This is not manipulation. This is human nature. And Stoicism understood this long before modern dating psychology ever existed. Over-explanation is a confession of insecurity. A man who feels grounded does not feel the urge to justify himself. He does not rush to clarify every misunderstanding. He does not defend his intentions unnecessarily. He does not narrate his value like a resume. But most men do the opposite. They explain why they didn't reply fast enough. They explain what they really meant. They explain their emotions, their past, their plans, in exhausting detail. And beneath all those words lies one unspoken message. Please understand me, so you won't leave. Women don't hear the words. They hear the fear underneath them. And fear is never attractive. Mystery is not strategy, it is self-containment. Let's be clear. Mystery is not about playing games. It's not about withholding information to manipulate emotions. True mystery emerges naturally from a man who is at peace with not being fully known. Stoicism teaches us that we are not responsible for how others interpret us, only for acting with integrity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A man who lives by this principle does not feel compelled to explain himself constantly. His actions speak. His boundaries speak. His consistency speaks. And when words are rare, they carry weight. Why women pull away when men talk too much? Most men think communication builds attraction. In truth, over-communication destroys polarity. Attraction thrives in tension, not chaos, but space. When a man fills every silence with explanation, there is no room for curiosity. No room for imagination. No room for emotional movement. He answers questions that were never asked. He resolves doubts before they exist. He removes uncertainty, and with it, desire. Because desire needs something to move toward. Silence is not absence, it is presence. A Stoic man understands the power of restraint. He does not rush to respond emotionally. He allows pauses. He lets moments breathe. Not because he is calculating, but because he is not reactive. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." A woman tests a man unconsciously, not with cruelty, but with emotion. She may challenge him. Withdraw slightly. Express doubt. A reactive man panics and explains. A grounded man observes, and remains steady. That steadiness communicates something no explanation ever could. I am not shaken by emotional waves. And that is deeply attractive. The masculine frame is silent, not loud. There is a concept few men understand until it's too late: frame. Your frame is your internal reference point, your sense of reality. When you over-explain, you are unconsciously saying, "My reality depends on your approval." A man with a strong frame states, not pleads. Responds, not reacts. Clarifies once, then lets go. He does not argue to be understood. Why? Because he knows something most men don't. Being misunderstood does not destroy a man. Begging to be understood does. Emotional transparency versus emotional leakage. Many men confuse emotional maturity with emotional exposure. They think being open means saying everything they feel. But Stoicism teaches discipline, not suppression, but regulation. A Stoic man is emotionally aware, yet selective. He shares from strength, not from anxiety. He opens when there is trust, not to create it. Women feel the difference immediately. One feels like grounding. The other feels like burden. Say less, and mean more. Here is a principle that will transform how women experience you. Never say more than the moment requires. Not to appear mysterious, but to remain sovereign. When you stop explaining, your words slow down. Your presence intensifies. Your confidence becomes felt, not announced. A woman leans in, not because she is confused, but because she senses depth. Depth always invites exploration. The second discipline you must master. If you want attraction that deepens instead of fades, master this discipline. Let your silence carry what your words cannot. Speak when it matters. Stand firm when misunderstood. Trust your actions to speak for you. Because the man who does not chase understanding is the man people try hardest to understand. And in love, that makes all the difference. Part 3, he gives too much, too soon, and teaches her to take him for granted. There is a painful lesson most men only learn after being discarded. What you give too early becomes invisible. Not because women are cruel. Not because they lack gratitude. But because human psychology assigns value through pace, not intention. Stoicism understood this long ago. Overinvestment is not love, it is fear wearing a mask. A man meets a woman he desires. He feels something real. And instead of allowing connection to unfold, he accelerates. He texts constantly. He prioritizes her immediately. He offers emotional availability without earning trust. He gives reassurance before uncertainty even exists. From his perspective, he is being sincere. From her nervous system's perspective, something feels off. Because intensity without foundation does not feel like love. It feels like need. Epictetus warned. If you desire something not within your control, you will be disappointed. Many men desire emotional certainty from women far too early. Something no one can give. Desire grows in space, not saturation. Attraction is not built by volume. It is built by contrast. When a man gives everything immediately, there is no anticipation. No tension. No sense of progression. Everything is available. And what is always available is rarely valued. This is not a gender issue. It is a human one. The Stoic understanding of scarcity. Stoicism teaches restraint, not as deprivation, but as self-respect. A Stoic man does not pour his energy into uncertain vessels. He invests proportionally. Interest is met with interest. Effort is met with effort. Availability is matched, not dumped. This creates balance. When a man gives more than is asked for, he sends a subtle message. I am afraid you won't stay unless I overcompensate. Women may not articulate this, but they feel it. And once they feel it, the dynamic shifts. When giving becomes self-erasure. Most men think generosity creates safety. In reality, unearned generosity creates imbalance. The man becomes the giver. The woman becomes the receiver. An attraction cannot survive where polarity collapses. Because desire requires two whole individuals, not one who dissolves himself to please another. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." A man who believes love must be proven through sacrifice too early will always lose himself, and eventually, the woman. Emotional investment must be earned, not offered. A grounded man understands something crucial. Trust precedes vulnerability. He does not open his deepest emotional layers immediately. He allows intimacy to unfold in stages. Not to manipulate, but to protect the sacredness of connection. When everything is revealed at once, nothing remains to be discovered. And discovery is the heartbeat of desire. Why women respect men who hold back. Holding back is not coldness. It is discipline. It communicates. I value my time. I value my emotional energy. I do not attach prematurely. This signals maturity. A woman feels she is entering a man's life, not consuming it. And that distinction changes everything. Giving from strength versus giving from fear. There are two types of giving. Giving from strength says, I share because I choose to. Giving from fear says, I give so you won't leave. Women feel the difference instantly. One feels grounding. The other feels suffocating. The third discipline you must master. If you want attraction that deepens rather than fades, master this. Let connection grow at the speed of trust. Do not rush intimacy. Do not front-load effort. Do not confuse eagerness with value. A man who can pace himself demonstrates control. And control, quiet, composed, internal, is irresistible. Because what is given slowly is felt deeply. Love is a great lesson in maturity. It challenges us with fragility, teaches us patience through waiting, and gives us strength after being hurt. Here, I don't just tell stories for you to listen to, but for you to reflect on yourself and find your own lessons. If you find it valuable, please click like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on the shares that can change the way you look at love. Now, get ready with me, because the rest will have a lot more depth waiting for you. Part 4, he avoids conflict, and slowly teaches her to disrespect him. Most men believe that harmony keeps attraction alive. So they agree. They comply. They avoid friction at all costs. And without realizing it, they train women to see them as emotionally weak. Not because conflict is attractive, but because the absence of boundaries is repelling. Peace at any price is not strength. A man who avoids conflict is not peaceful. He is fearful. Fearful of disapproval. Fearful of loss. Fearful of standing alone. Stoicism teaches us that inner peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to face it without losing oneself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A man who sacrifices his truth to keep a woman comfortable loses that strength. And women sense it immediately. Boundaries create safety, not distance. This is where many men misunderstand attraction. They think boundaries push women away. In reality, boundaries anchor desire. A woman feels safer with a man who can say no, can disagree calmly, can tolerate her displeasure without collapsing. Because such a man is not governed by emotional chaos, his own or hers. Avoiding conflict communicates, "I don't trust myself to survive tension." And that erodes attraction. Why polarity requires friction. Masculine presence is not loud. It is stable under pressure. When a man avoids confrontation, polarity disappears. There is no contrast. No grounded center. No edge. A relationship without friction becomes emotionally flat, and attraction fades. Not dramatically, but slowly. Quietly. Until one day she no longer feels drawn, and doesn't know why. Stoic conflict is calm, not aggressive. Conflict does not mean anger. It means clarity. A Stoic man addresses issues early, directly, and without emotional volatility. He does not argue to win. He does not threaten to leave. He does not plead. He states his boundary, and accepts the consequence. That is strength. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Many men avoid conflict because they fear being seen as the bad guy. But respect is never earned by self-betrayal. When men trade truth for approval. A man who constantly agrees is not supportive. He is invisible. When he suppresses his preferences, his opinions lose weight. His presence loses gravity. His words stop landing. A woman may enjoy the comfort, but comfort without respect becomes boredom. And boredom is attraction's quiet killer. Disagreement reveals character. Conflict reveals who you are when things are not smooth. A Stoic man does not fear this revelation. He welcomes it. Because he knows. A woman who respects him will respect his boundaries. A woman who leaves because of them was never aligned. This clarity saves years of quiet resentment. The masculine role is not compliance. Masculinity, in its Stoic form, is containment. It is the ability to hold tension without reacting impulsively. To say, "This doesn't work for me." And stand still. No dramatics. No explanations. No emotional bargaining. Just presence. And presence commands respect. The fourth discipline you must master. If you want attraction that lasts, master this discipline. Choose self-respect over harmony. Speak your truth calmly. Set boundaries early. Allow disagreement without fear. Because the man who can withstand conflict without losing himself is the man women instinctively trust. And trust is the soil where desire grows. Part 5. He makes her the center of his life, and loses his gravity. There is a final mistake that quietly destroys attraction more than all others combined. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly. Almost invisibly. A man meets a woman. And without realizing it, his life begins to revolve around her. His schedule adjusts. His priorities shift. His focus narrows. He tells himself this is love. But what he is actually doing is something far more dangerous. He is abandoning his purpose. Attraction follows direction, not devotion. Women are not drawn to men who worship them. They are drawn to men who are moving somewhere. A Stoic man understands this instinctively. He does not place women at the center of his existence. Because the center is already occupied by something greater. His mission. His craft. His values. His discipline. When a woman enters such a man's life, she joins a moving train, not a parked one. And movement is magnetic. Why centering a woman collapses desire. The moment a woman becomes a man's primary source of meaning, pressure is created. She feels it. She senses. His happiness depends on her mood. His peace depends on her presence. His direction depends on her approval. And no woman wants to carry that weight. Not because she lacks compassion, but because desire cannot breathe under responsibility. Stoicism teaches us. Attach yourself only to what you can lose without losing yourself. Most men violate this principle, and pay the price. Masculine gravity comes from purpose. A man with purpose does not chase attention. He attracts it. Why? Because purpose creates gravity. His time is structured. His energy is directed. His presence is grounded. He is not always available. Not because he is playing hard to get, but because his life has weight. Women feel this immediately. And instinctively, they want to be part of it. Love is an addition, not a replacement. A Stoic man does not use love to escape himself. He builds a life worth sharing, then invites someone into it. This is the difference between "I need you to feel complete" and "I am complete, walk with me if you wish." One creates dependence. The other creates desire. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to throw away." A man who wastes his life orbiting another person loses not only attraction, but self-respect. When men lose their edge. When purpose fades. Conversation loses depth. Presence loses tension. Attraction loses polarity. The man becomes predictable. Available. Agreeable. Soft in the wrong places. And while kindness remains, respect erodes. A woman may stay, but desire quietly leaves. The Stoic hierarchy of life. Stoicism teaches order. First, your character. Second, your mission. Third, your relationships. Invert this order, and everything collapses. A man who places a woman above his principles will eventually resent her. A man who places her above his purpose will eventually bore her. But a man who places his purpose first creates a stable foundation, for himself and for love. Love thrives beside strength, not instead of it. This is the final truth most men resist. Women do not want to be your world. They want to join your world. A world that is disciplined, directed, alive. Stoic love does not cling. It stands and invites. The fifth discipline you must master. If you want attraction that endures, master this discipline. Build a life that does not collapse in her absence. Pursue your mission daily. Guard your time. Honor your values. Let love be a companion, not a compass. Because the man who walks his path with quiet certainty is the man women follow, willingly. Attraction is not created by tricks. It is revealed by who you become. Build your inner core. Speak less, mean more. Pace your investment. Hold your boundaries. Live with purpose. Do this, and you will no longer wonder why women lose interest. They won't. They will wonder why you are different. Conclusion. Most men spend their lives asking the wrong question. They ask, how do I make her want me? A Stoic man asks something far deeper. Who must I become so that my presence is felt? Because attraction is not built through effort directed outward. It is revealed through discipline cultivated inward. The men women remember are not the loudest. Not the most eager. Not the most accommodating. They are the men who stand firmly in themselves. Men who have an inner core. Men who speak less, but with weight. Men who give slowly and intentionally. Men who hold boundaries without anger. Men who live for a purpose beyond romance. This is why 99% of men are not attractive. Not because they lack value, but because they abandon it in pursuit of approval. Stoic love teaches us a timeless truth. You cannot negotiate desire. You can only embody it. The moment you stop chasing attention, you gain presence. The moment you stop over-explaining, you gain mystery. The moment you stop over-giving, you gain respect. The moment you stop avoiding conflict, you gain strength. And the moment you stop making a woman your center, you regain your gravity. A woman does not fall in love with words. She falls in love with who you are when words are no longer needed. So build yourself, quietly. Walk your path, steadily. Let love meet you there. Because the man who does not need to be chosen is the man women choose freely. Thank you for watching the whole video. I hope that today's sharing about love will bring you new perspectives and help you gain valuable lessons. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your loved ones. I am very grateful for your companionship, and hope that each video will help you get closer to a happy and lasting love. See you in the next videos. Wish you a wonderful and inspired day.